This episode will feature hearings from We're going to look at Bitcoin because there is one risk that I am ready to accept. We got that interview from Brad Garlinghouse for you, and it says it all. I think it was Fox Business this morning that was on air. And that is that before the bull run begins or continues, we will witness one more down. I'm going all in, people, so buckle up. I plan to utilize some of my available funds, as I believe this is our final chance. If we discuss it, we'll talk about the XRPs at the boiler right now. The XRPs at the boiler are tightening, a trend we've frequently observed. They are currently experiencing an upward breakout, so let's get right to this object. Bitcoin $63.50 in the last 24 hours, Ethereum has increased by 2%, closing at $3.66. Both USDT and USDC have returned to the dollar pegs, just where we want them to be. Ethereum is currently up 4%. XRP, on the other hand, is up 1% at 50 cents. The entire market capitalization of cryptocurrencies remains at $2 trillion, or $335 billion, for people. You get from a minimalist founder, and you'll want it since you're going to be selected for the upcoming Star Wars-themed NFTs next month. You better get ready because I think those will sell out quickly. Swift and intense. Rumors about Gary Gensler are circulating suggesting that Gary Gensler is about to step down. I genuinely believe there might be some truth to these rumors. Time will tell, of course, but I think Gensler is listening. When he was leaving, we all thought this was going to be a really good thing with Gensler coming in. Obviously, we were wrong about the crypto markets. Who would I like? I don't even know the names of potential successors to lead the SEC, but if he resigns, it will be a lovely thing, and that's what we want. To see now, Bitcoin, it may be even less than 1 day and 10 hours until our arrival, but it is coming nonetheless. This is beneficial. This is beneficial. We long for heaven's arrival. After it disappears, we want the markets to go parabolic. Let's get started. Brad Garlinghouse. In an interview with Fox Business, he predicted that Ripple would control the cryptocurrency landscape. This would undoubtedly have a significant impact on XRP. Watch this if you haven't already. We'll discuss what he said in the next 4.5 minutes, so fast forward to that point. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, which I believe is about to expire. You will have the opportunity to purchase Bitcoin, after which we'll discuss XRP and the boiler. Ben, that's something you won't want to miss. Let's get started this morning. Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, is with me exclusively right now. It's wonderful to meet you. It's wonderful to meet you. I want to thank you once more for coming. First, evaluate our current position in the market. Is this correct? The value of cryptocurrency has significantly increased over the last few weeks. Indeed, there has been a surge and a subsequent decline in the cryptocurrency market. However, if you look back, I believe that Bitcoin has increased by roughly 250% over the last 6 months. I believe there will be tailwinds going forward, in part due to the approved ETFs, which I discussed with you in Davos. Not to mention the soon-to-come event. Yes, it's fantastic. It's a wonderful point that the ETF's debut, in my opinion, really opened up the market to more individuals who wanted to invest in it, so they bought an ETF to do so. However, you recently forecast that the size of the cryptocurrency market will double to $5 trillion by the end of 2024. By itself, that is a bold forecast for the end. When you take a step back, though, I don't think it's that huge of a projection for this year. Supply and demand drive this market, just like any other. There is a growing desire for the ETF to play a significant role in meeting the growing demand for Bitcoin, which is one of the many factors contributing to its dwindling supply. Additionally, I believe it's people. Even though the cryptocurrency market currently stands at a value of $2.45 trillion, it remains essentially a forecast that it will double by the year's end. If anything, I think I may have underestimated the market because I believe that Washington is still trying to understand it and that those who are writing the laws or the potential laws are here to create obstacles in and around this market. I'm not sure if they truly recognize the strength and growth story of this market, but one would assume that regulating it and erecting obstacles would be beneficial for the United States' largest economy has undoubtedly hampered this sector, posing a particularly challenging situation for the cryptocurrency industry. Entrepreneurs, innovators, and capital have poured into marketplaces that have engaged in positive ways. This market includes Singapore, Dubai, and even the UK. All right, the EU passed. Here in the US, legislative action has truly lagged. This management, I believe the SEC, is at the forefront of this rather anti-crypto attitude. Since Chair Gary Gensler truly is tech, since he is unable to comprehend how much I like it. I believe that some of the individuals who work for him may not share this sentiment, and I'm not sure I fully understand it. That is, I believe that you have politicians, and I would be the first to criticize Elizabeth Warren for saying that bad actors are the only ones using cryptocurrency. That is simply untrue, and you ought to have a pro-innovation platform instead. Pro-compliance guidelines, knowing this is beneficial for you in terms of the economy, high-paying jobs, and, in my opinion, the employment growth. You are aware that people go out and that there are discussions about anti-crypto that are so illogical. It isn't even a partisan matter. It's focused on expanding our economy. This involves spearheading the upcoming innovation wave. I was near Silicon Valley. The internet's peak created enormous amounts of value and jobs. The era of cryptocurrency and blockchain is here. I believe that the era of cryptocurrency and blockchain is here to stay, particularly in the US. For everyone to play and thrive, the government must accept and enact those precise regulations. I'm delighted you brought up all of those nations because, of course, that presents a chance for you at Ripple, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. Since you recently revealed that Ripple is introducing a stablecoin backed by the US dollar. You mentioned that later this year, Ripple plans to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and traditional banking. This closes the distance between cryptocurrency and regular finance. Give us the growth story, explain how it will happen, and explain why it's important. Regarding Ripple, from where does growth originate? Let's start with the final section. About 95% of Ripple's clients are financial institutions based outside of the US. We offer custody and payment solutions. Blockchain and cryptocurrency-related solutions. As previously discussed, the U.S. market has been hesitant to accept new regulations, but we still plan to keep growing despite this. For us, the non-U.S. market has shown remarkable resilience, despite the challenges posed by the surrounding infrastructure. We aim to achieve all of that, and we believe there is a great deal of possibility. This will be extremely beneficial to Ripple. I believe that XRP will benefit greatly from it. It is one of our digital assets, and I am extremely optimistic about that. Just consider how important it is that the US figure it out and how reliable the coin is, just as Ripple has always been about bridging this new world with traditional people. Whether you want to call it traditional finance or not, Ripple has always been that link. We began with payments, and now we sell stable coins to banks. The demand for stable coins has outpaced my expectations. It was believed to be a $150 billion asset. Currently, some predict that in a few years, it will surpass $2 trillion. The US is pursuing it since they want this, to be honest, but the companies in that space, in particular, one called Tether, are not US-based. As recently as yesterday, regulations began to take effect. The Senate has submitted a new bill to establish some stablecoin legislation, which I believe is a positive step towards the realization that we might finally see some forward motion there. However, I believe that the market will expand significantly. A US-based player who prioritizes compliance has a fantastic role, in my opinion. It's a fantastic story to tell, Brad, and play. I sincerely appreciate your presence and attention. Brad has a really wonderful website. It's good to have him around. Something big is coming, I believe. The stablecoin is going to be far larger than we anticipate, in my opinion. Brad is starting his tour of duty. People, Ripple is getting ready for something. Is this what Bitcoin is going to look like? Play out right now. Let's see, If time runs out at that point, we may drop as low as $57,000, give or take, for the last dip of what I believe we're witnessing. Let's see, it will take 2 to 3 weeks for Bitcoin to sink a little lower. The Poplift Coin Watch is currently showing a push that will resemble a brief retest of the $64,000 area. In my opinion, we may reach 67 before this last surrender occurs, at which point we will make that run up in May. If we consider the past, the time window starts in June, after which we look at XRP and the boiler bands. We can see that prices increase when they are really tight. This all lines up exactly with the timeline I have been putting out there for May. This is how I work in June. I am aware of our proximity. The next step toward what my partner and I don't want is quite close at hand. Tell me what you and every other analyst are attempting to determine. Are we going to witness one more dip? In cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin?